Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, October 6th City Council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Bainey.
Here.
Alderman Glad.
Here.
Alderman Doherty.
Here.
Alderwoman Massey.
Here.
Alderman Davis.
Here.
Alderman Cook.
Here.
Alderwoman Miller.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item on the agenda is public comment. Chris Moore. Is this regarding any item on the agenda this evening? Okay. If you could please hit the center button.
Good evening. I'm all for having concerts and festivals and stuff like that. A couple of weeks ago, Prairie Grove had a concert. And my street, Veterans Parkway, was blocked, 3/4 of it. I was not notified that this was going to happen. I saw signs along the road that said no parking, so on, so I figured it'd be open. They were everywhere. But all of a sudden, I come home and I see the sign that says this road is going to be blocked. Well, I wasn't notified and I had to work later that day. So I was a half an hour late. And the kids came home late also from school that day. So there must have been some type of better planning because I didn't hear anything from the city about any roads being closed or anything. So there should have been better planning on this. My next issue, I kind of need I don't know if you can answer this, but there's another No Kings group happening again later this month. So my understanding is I got two versions, yes and no, as to did they have a permit last time. So if they don't have a permit, then they shouldn't be able to gather. Because it says on the website to McHenry that parades or public gathering needs a permit. So, and they already know from last time that where they're going to park is right there in that empty parking lot where McDonald's is. And that's where they're going to go, cross the street, and so on. Last time, they also stepped down to Route 31. So they were not supposed to get onto the street, but they were. Not all of them. And then that clogs up 31. And on a Saturday at lunchtime, it's busy. So there should be a permit that they need to fill out if they didn't last time. It should be one this time also. And also going back to, the concert, I know that the city was reimbursed for the police officers' time, that they were stationed blocking off the street. But was the city also reimbursed for the gas to the vehicles, even to the pension? Because that's on the city or on the taxpayers of the city, which should have been covered also. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Anyone else that would like to make a public comment for items not on the agenda this evening? All right. Moving on to consent agenda items 5A through 5C. I'm looking for a motion to approve as presented. Alderman Bainey.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Second, Alderman Miller.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Any discussion on these items? See none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Bainey.
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderwoman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, Council. Next item on the agenda is an individual action item. 6A is a zoning variation For Lot 84 of the McHenry Golf Course subdivision, I'm looking for a motion to pass an ordinance granting minor zoning variations to accommodate a new single-family residence at Lot 84 of the McHenry Golf Course subdivision. Fox River Edition. Director Palaraki, you have anything to add to that?
No, just that this did appear before planning and zoning, was unanimous recommendation for approval. The lot's over 100 years old. It's been, it's a small corner lot, so staff didn't feel there was anything out of the order with this request, so.
Thank you. All right, I'm looking for a motion to approve. Alderman Bainey.
I'll make the motion to approve that zoning variation at Lot 84 of McHenry Golf Course subdivision.
Thank you. Alderman Davis.
I'll second that.
Thank
I'll
you.
second.
Discussion by city council? Any public comment regarding this item? See none? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Bainey,
Yes.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderwoman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Cook,
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller,
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 6B, zoning variation 4101 Shamrock Lane. Looking for a motion to waive the $950 zoning hearing application fee and pass an ordinance granting a zoning variation to accommodate a trash enclosure at 4101 Shamrock Lane. Director Palaraki.
Yes, so basically you just said it all. The state of Illinois, as we all know, is widening Route 31 and it's affecting many, many properties. This is probably one of many that you'll see for variance requests moving forward. The trash enclosure ended up in the state right away after the acquisition, so we needed to find a new place to put it. And this was the most convenient place. So it's not allowed in a required front yard. However, staff doesn't believe that it's not a nuisance on the property. So
Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve. Alderman Miller.
I'll make the motion to approve the zoning variation for 4101 Shamrock Lane and to waive the $950 zoning hearing application fee.
Thank you. Second. Alderman Doherty, sorry.
I'll make a second to the motion.
Thank you. Discussion by city council. Go ahead, Alderman Davis.
Russ, the only thing I didn't see in the packet is seeing that it's going to be right there on 31. Is there? I know it's enclosed, but is it like a fenced in 6 foot, 8 foot?
it has to be out of view. So it'll be fenced in with a 6 or 8 foot.
So like a wood fence, not like a chain link or anything. like
Correct.
that?
And chain link is not allowed except for the gates. So it will more than likely be wood or PVC.
Okay.
We allow the gates to be chain link just for the durability purposes because they're open. and
I was
close
more
all the time.
concerned that it'd be like an eyesore going by there.
And that's why we don't allow them in the front yards. But
Right.
yes, they will. This situation is unique. And,
Right. Yeah. So
we will make sure that it is enclosed.
It's in the front yard right now.
Correct.
Any other questions by council? Alderman Glad.
Not a question, but more of a concern, and that's as far as waiving the $950 zoning hearing application fee. There's going to be more of these coming. It's unfortunate that they had to move, the trash area because of the, what is it? I don't know if you call it negotiations or however that Illinois 31 needs to be widened. My concern more than anything else is there would be more variances coming that need to go to zoning hearings, and whether it be here or in another area. We've got 120 and 31 intersection that'll be coming, and I just think it's a bad precedence to start waiving the fees. And I know that there's a cost, but I'm sure they were compensated by the state for some of this, and I just wonder, we don't know exactly what the negotiations between them and the state were. I just don't think the $950 is a good precedence to start.
Any other questions, comments by council? Any public comment? The petitioner is here if you would like to say a few words. If you could hit the center button. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Mike Ryan. I'm the attorney that represented the property owner against the state in the eminent domain suit. I can speak a little to your concern. These eminent domain process in Illinois, generally because of the law, the way it's set up is the property owner is never really made whole. That's the goal, but you're not reimbursed for attorney's fees. You're not reimbursed for experts like appraisers and engineers, surveyors that you're hired. It's strictly a market value analysis. When you get into court, we exchange appraisals. There's a compromise. The owner doesn't even get everything they're asking for in terms of land value or cost necessarily. In this particular case, we didn't get everything we asked for. Plus, the owner's stuck paying for experts and attorneys on top of that. So they're always left a little less than full, even if they get everything they want. In this instance, it was a compromise to see if we could make a deal with the state. So in this particular instance, we're asking for the $950 just because we feel like this was an involuntary road project. It was thrust upon the owner without them asking for it. And we think this is the type of instance that a waiver of a fee is adequate so that this particular owner isn't stuck with all these costs when, the public at large is benefiting from the road project.
Thank you, sir.
That's all.
I appreciate it. Anyone else for public comment? See none? Trish, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderwoman Bainey,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
I don't like the waiving the fee, but I think the rest of it fits quite well, so I'll say yes.
okay. Alderwoman Bassi,
Yes.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Appreciate it, sir. Next item on the agenda is 6C is Bumblebread revolving loan, a motion to approve a fully amended and restated agreement for Bumblebread Company located at 1114 North Green Street through the McHenry Revolving Loan Fund Program. Director Martin, you have anything to share on this?
Just that we'd rather work with the Bumblebread and try to keep them in business rather than go after them and try to collect payment on a loan.
Thank you. All right, at this time, looking for a motion to approve 6C as presented. Alderman Doherty?
I'll make a motion to approve item 6C, the Bumblebee Bread revolving loan as presented.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Cook?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Discussion by city council? Any public comment regarding this item? Trish, please call the roll.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderman Cook,
Yes.
Alderwoman Bainey,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes,
Alderwoman Bassi.
Yes.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller,
Yes.
Thank you, council.
Mayor,
Yes.
should have made one comment before. Not
ahead.
that it would have made a difference
go
on the, and just the fact that these type of businesses that have come out of these small little spots and have gone to, that was a program that I was hoping to see moving forward. And I think more than anything else, it is important that the residents of our city realize, you always see the signs that say, to shop local, but it is important for these entrepreneurs that have these new businesses to be supported by our community to grow. And that's how we will regrow our commercial base. Maybe not with the big barns, but with these smaller shops coming in, which will help all of McHenry as far as having more viability as far as the type of stores that they have to shop in.
Agreed. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is 6D is regarding the solar farm. The petitioner is here to give a presentation, so if you two want to step up to the podium.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Can you hit the center button? Sorry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Great to see you all. My name is Forrest Hauk. I'm here on behalf of my employer, One Energy Renewables, to discuss our proposed Mildred Solar project. I'm joined tonight by Carolyn Schofield, and we're just going to take 10 to 12 minutes of your time to kind of update you on what we've been up to the last 3 months since we were in front of this council in July. I'll do just a real quick project overview to jog your memory of where this project's located in the city of McHenry. And then I'll turn it over to Carolyn, and she'll speak briefly about the zoning comprehensive plan and trend of development conversation that we had the zoning board 2 weeks ago. And then I'll take it back just for the last few slides to talk about what we've done with community engagement over the past 5 months with the City of McHenry, updates we've made to our petition based on that engagement, and then ending finally with a summary of the community benefits this project represents potentially to the City of McHenry. Just really quickly to jog your memory, my company is located out of Madison, Wisconsin. I've worked for the company for 8 years, and in that time, we've built 55 of these types of solar projects across the upper Midwest. 12 of them are located within the state of Illinois. 8 of those are operating, and 4 of those operating projects are here in the county of McHenry. The closest one is at the corner of Raffle Road and Charles Road, just northwest of town. And the project we're here to talk about today is what we call Mildred Solar. It's located on Curran Road in the southwest portion of town, just north of Legend Lakes and just east of the Wood Creek subdivisions. The project is in the red area shown on this map, which would be approximately 25 acres to support the community solar project. The updates that I'll get into later, but the project would be a 5 megawatt community solar project, which would allow citizens of the City of McHenry to subscribe and receive a 10 to 20% saving on their electric bill. The site is currently farmed. The soy just got taken off of it last week. And what we'd be proposing is a 25-acre project with an access road on the north side of the parcel. And after working with the community, we've also have proposed in our petition a double screen. One would be a wooden security fence, 8 feet tall, and then a double row of native evergreens spaced every 12 feet. We typically like to use eastern red cedar, but we would be working through a landscape plan that would be finalized as a condition of the permit, where we could work with city staff to select that tree species. I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn real quick, and she'll talk through kind of a brief summary of the conversation we had with the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Thank you. Good evening. As Forrest said, I'm Carolyn Schofield. I'm with the law offices of Thomas Burney. And I have been working with One Energy in particular because of my background on the Planning and Zoning Commission, City Council, on a county board, and as well as a current member of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. So over the last 25 years, I've had the opportunity to assist in developing and adopting multiple comprehensive plans. So I understand the time and effort that goes into these plans and the pride that goes with them when they're adopted. So I want to commend you all and your PZC and your staff on the adoption of your 2050 plan last year. The comprehensive plans are a valuable tool for decision-making and serve as a guide for future growth. They are intentionally nimble to adapt to changing environments, such as advances in technology, emerging priorities, social philosophies, and environmental concerns. I will present how Mildred Solar project fits within your comprehensive plan guidelines. Currently, this parcel is zoned as conservation residential, RS1, low density single family residential. The proposed A1 zoning designation is considered a lower impact zoning classification. Your ordinance includes solar regardless of the size. Solely within solar farm is a conditional use in the A1 zoning district. However, community solar does vary from the traditional large agricultural solar farm. Community solar is intended to make solar accessible to residents as an alternative to rooftop solar installation for various reasons, such as financial constraints, renting or lease agreements, exposure limitations, or covenants restrictions. Community solar has a smaller footprint than a traditional solar farm to easily integrate into the communities. And a map amendment and conditional use on this parcel would remain consistent with your comprehensive plan conservation residential development, allowing for growth on the northern portion to feature larger residential lots and maintain McHenry's rural and natural character. A future development proposal for the northern area of this parcel could include Mildred's solar project area after decommissioning when the area is returned to the natural state. This would allow the potential preservation of open space and natural habitat as desired to be included in a future conservation residential development. The current parcel has been used as agriculture and essentially vacant for over 100 years with no notable interest in residential development. The approval of this project would bring a desirable amenity to your community while allowing fulfillment of your comprehensive plan vision. One Energy has addressed the public utility concerns presented by staff and therefore would not hinder development of low-density residential to the north. The conditional use permit would include extensive vegetation, including native plantings conducive to supporting native wildlife and pollinators. In addition, there is the potential inclusion of sheep grazing, which will maintain the agricultural character in line with the existing trend of development, thus not creating a new trend. As I mentioned in my opening comments, a comprehensive plan is intended to be a fluid document, addressing current practices and concerns. With the rising cost of energy prices, as well as the state's commitment to renewable energy and clean energy sources, the inclusion of community solar is an emerging priority that will benefit a community without a public monetary investment. Your comprehensive plan vision states, quote, "City leadership should use this plan for prioritizing investment in public infrastructure and amenities, as well as when evaluating development proposals," end quote. This project would introduce renewable, local energy production and energy cost savings to residents. Did I get it? No. Did it not go? Oh, sorry. There we go. Noted earlier, this property is not currently a strong candidate for RS1 as it has been exclusively farmed since the landowner acquired it. The current zoning impedes the near-term value solar offers the subject property owner and deprives the community the benefits of community solar. Solar is a temporary land use that would provide a benefit to the community while allowing the potential for future conservation residential development. As your ordinance does not specifically define community solar, this request is for A1 zoning with a conditional use for a solar farm. One Energy meets the approval criteria for a conditional use. There is minimal traffic from this project. In fact, many community members noted this project would have less impact on the traffic on Curran Road over a residential development. Solar is a quiet, clean neighbor that offers environmental benefits and open space. The proposed screening and setback ensure no deleterious effects on neighboring property. In fact, community feedback supports this non-residential use. This property is particularly well suited for solar as it is located adjacent to electric infrastructure, has a strong existing vegetative screen, and has no draw on other public utilities. Finally, the renewable energy produced, pollinator habitat installed, and location of electrical equipment support public safety. While community solar is not specified in your ordinance, it is compatible within your comprehensive plan. Your plan states, quote, "The third goal of the city is infrastructure and fiscal sustainability. It means that the city has committed to developing roadways, transit, energy, and water infrastructure with due consideration to economic, social, and environmental implications within the government's spending capacity," end quote. This project is an opportunity for innovation, allowing commercial solar as an energy source with no municipal expenditure. The project furthers goals related to sustainable growth, economic resilience, and infrastructure and fiscal sustainability. In alignment with your comprehensive plan, the project preserves an open space and natural habitats with 120 plus acres for future residential development along Curran Road. So I will now go back to Forrest.
Thanks, Carolyn. I'm not a planner, but I think in my non-planner speak, I just wanted to say I completely respect and appreciate the time that the Planning and Zoning Committee put into their decision. And I think, we'd like to put forth the argument that currently solar as a use is not within the comprehensive plan or the zoning map. And we think this parcel is an excellent candidate. And we hope that you agree. I just wanted to quickly talk about the engagement we've done with your community over the last 5 months. We started talking with Cody and Ross back in May. We had the pleasure of coming in front of you, my colleague Tori and I, in July. We had a community meeting where we mailed everyone that lived within 1,000 feet of the subject property and invited them to the public library. We had about 30 folks show up, and it was a great discussion. And I want to highlight in the next slide a few of the changes we made off of that, based off of that feedback. We then went in front of the Planning and Zoning Committee 2 weeks ago, and then, look forward to kind of summarizing. Some of the updates are at the bottom of the slide, but I think a better way to show them is within the layout. So I just wanted to say, I want to say thank you to Phil and Teresa for coming out tonight. We've been working with them in a neighbor agreement that would set back the project 150 feet from their home in the southwest corner of the property. We also negotiated with them to put a wooden fence in between the solar project and their property, but not plant an evergreen screen. And we did that intentionally so that we could preserve that 30-foot easement for the public right-of-ways to go along the southwest corner of the property and out to the public right-of-way along Curran Road. That way, as Carolyn mentioned, the lift station that's located just south of the property could be extended to the west and then to the north to serve future housing development north of the subject property. Additionally, based off of community meeting feedback, we added 150 evergreen trees with a double layer to be planted along the western edge of the project, and then a single layer of evergreens to be planted on the south side. And the idea there was we would be conducting a survey of the trees, but the residents of that community mentioned that a lot of the evergreen screen or the tree screen that's already there is deciduous, and they would prefer to have an evergreen screen there in addition to the trees that are already there. Finally, I wanted to point out, based off of feedback from our conceptual presentation in July, we've moved the access road and the electrical equipment to the north side of the property. So now no electric equipment is within 800 feet of any neighboring residence. The way it's currently designed, the few pieces of equipment that create noise on a community solar site, the inverters, they won't be audible at the site boundary on the south side. And then just kind of zooming in on that municipal easement, the 30-foot right-of-way starts kind of in the middle south of the project, is due west, and then goes along a 50-foot public right-of-way before the parcel begins on Current Road. There's a condition within the ordinance or within the motion in front of you to potentially put that easement on the project property, which would require us to move our evergreen screen 30 feet further back from the road. We're open to that condition, but we just wanted to highlight this was our intention of how we wanted to preserve that utility easement. And then second, a conversation we had with the PZC 2 weeks ago, there was concern of other A1 commercial uses that could be introduced to the property outside of the solar area. This wasn't an impact we anticipated, and we followed up with the city attorney last week just to indicate that we are open to modifying the motion in front of you tonight to shrink our rezone petition from the 88 acres that is defined as the 2 pins that the project area overlaps with, down to just the 35 acres that the project area would actually occupy. We are open to this addition, but we just want to be clear that we're happy to move forward with the petition as currently stated. We just thought this amendment wouldn't be more in line with the feedback that we got from the Planning and Zoning Commission 2 weeks ago. Okay, finally, just last 2 slides. Throughout this 5-month process, we've been asked multiple times, both by members of the community and then also at these public hearings, to put a clear definition of what the benefits this project means to the community. Here is the story I get to tell when I get to go into communities and talk about community solar. Community solar offers 3 traditional benefits. The first being an increase in property tax from the current status quo. The property, as it's currently farmed, produces about $7,000 a year in property taxes. With the solar project there, that would increase to over $45,000 a year, and that would add up to just over $1.1 million over the 30 years of the project. I think we discussed this last time, and it was pointed out that the majority of this funding would go to the school district, and that is correct. I just wanted to highlight that in the graph on the right, showing that over 70% of this property tax revenue would go to the 2 local school districts. The second benefit that community solar brings is subscriber savings. A project of this size would power approximately 1,000 homes. That's roughly 1 in 8 homes in the city of McHenry. The savings on these electrical bills would be $2,000 a year, and that would add up to about $6 million in savings over the course of the project. And as we've noted, as Carolyn noted, energy costs are rising, and a project like this allows folks to lock in their energy rates for a large portion of their consumption, even if they don't have the capital to put solar on their own home. Finally, when this project gets constructed, it would bring another independent $3 million estimated in construction benefits and wages for high-skilled trades positions, mainly electricians and operators, to construct the project over a 6-month window. These three benefits add up to about $10 million. And, you know, my dad was a national park ranger, and he said that a good storyteller is a good listener. And so this is the story I get to tell on each project, but what I've heard in the last 5 months working in your community is there's a need for an ask to define these benefits in a way that are more specific to the city. And so in response to that ask, what we have proposed above and beyond what comes in state law is a 30-day subscription exclusivity for residents within the city of McHenry, so folks directly in the city can benefit from that $200,000 a year savings in subscribing to the project. Second, we've dropped off LOIs with both the school districts and a local nonprofit. We would donate our spare panels to these nonprofits and cover the cost of installation. And then finally, over the last 5 months, you know, not only have we heard the need for more benefits, but we've learned a lot about the innovation that's already happening in this community. You know, whether that's the Riverwalk shops, the mural programs, or the park improvements. And, you know, given the fact that I myself cannot change state property tax law, what I can do is I've worked with our leadership team at One Energy and gotten their approval to make a community benefit fund of $250,000 that would be funded at the construction of the project, which is scheduled to begin in summer of 2026. I have with me an LOI, and that LOI has identified 4 organizations that have been working with us through the engagement of the last 5 months. And those include the McHenry Riverwalk Foundation, the Pioneer Center for Human Services, and the City of McHenry Departments of Park and Recreation and Economic Development. And so this is not a condition or a legally binding part of our petition, but it is a commitment that we're excited to make as a B corporation, which means that we balance profits and our mission to advance community solar in a way that benefits the communities that we work with. So with that, just to summarize, we think community solar is an innovative land use that is in alignment with the comprehensive plan, although not specifically defined therein. The proposed parcel is uniquely well suited for solar, especially given the adjustments we've made over the last 5 months, and that would preserve 120 acres for future residential development to the north of the project on Current Road. And One Energy is committed to bring community benefits to this community, both within state law and going above and beyond those requirements. And I just wanted to thank you all for your time and happy to answer any questions you have about our petition. Thanks.
So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and read the motions as follows to get a motion on the floor. And then any questions can be asked by the council members or the public after we make that motion. And then Alderman Bassi, I guess you do have something you'd like to share, so you'll do that right after we make the motion. Is that okay? All right. Perfect. So at this time for 6D, I am looking for a motion to grant the petitioner's request and authorize the mayor and the city clerk to execute the proposed ordinance granting a zoning map amendment to A1 Agriculture District and conditional use permit, subject to the stated conditions, to operate a solar farm on a portion of the land located southeast of the intersection of Ojibwa Lane and Curran Road, or a motion to deny the petitioner's request for a zoning map amendment to A1 Agriculture District and conditional use permit to operate a solar farm on a portion of the land located southeast of the intersection of Ojibwa Lane and Curran Road. So go ahead, David.
Yeah, before you do that, so he obviously gave you an alternative that we prepared from a staff standpoint because we're not sure quite where this is going to go. But could you put up the amended motion that they suggested in favor of granting it with the reduced acreage? It was about 6 pages before. Oh, perfect. Right there. So with regard to the first motion that's on the agenda, the petitioner is suggesting a reduction in the legal description, which shouldn't affect the legality of the notice that was published or the hearing that took place and all that. It's actually less restrictive, I think would be the word. So whoever makes the motion, if your motion is to grant A, you might consider what they're proposed as an alternative. On the other hand, if someone makes a motion to deny, then it's as stated in the agenda. So whoever's moved, unless you want to go for discussion first, whatever you
No,
prefer.
we'll go ahead and make a motion, get a motion on the floor. So looking for a motion to approve or deny. Alderman Miller?
So I will make the motion to deny, deny the petitioner's request for the zoning map amendment to A1 Agricultural District and the conditional use permit to operate a solar farm on the portion of the land located at the southeast intersection of Ojibwa and Kern Road.
Thank you. I'm looking for a second. Alderman Cook?
I'll make this motion to deny.
Thank you.
Second it.
All right. At this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Alderwoman Bassey.
Thank you very much. First of all, Forrest and Tori, she's not here. I'd like to thank you very much for listening to the residents, hearing what they're saying, and making every single concession that either I asked for or they asked for. I appreciate that, and I found your group to be very, very easy to work with, and for that I say thank you. But there's been some changes since we visited for the first time. There is now a second proposal that's going to go also on Curran Road at the intersection of Curran and Bull Valley. And that's presenting an issue for the residents. They don't necessarily want 2 solar farms in such close proximity. So I did a little bit of homework. Monty, thank you for putting this up. As soon as we received our packet on Wednesday, I sent letters to the HOA presidents. I physically knocked on doors and said, how would you like me to vote? Because it's my job to represent you. And by the way, this is in fact Ward 4, which I represent. I also, one of the HOA people posted on the Legend Lakes Facebook page, which was great because I was able to receive a lot of feedback from that. And I did use that in making my decision. So what Monty's got for me right now is all the different zones. I put everything into a zone. And then from there, I also weighted it. So the individuals, the homeowners that literally butted up against, they were given heavier weight. So Monty, could you go to the second one, please? Thank you. So zone 1 is clearly the people that live right off of Draper. So I went and I knocked on doors. I knocked on doors. I sent out emails. I received phone calls. I sent texts. It was on Facebook. So from there, I feel that I got a pretty good sample data of how everyone was really feeling. And at this point, they are not comfortable with having the solar panel or the solar farm. But what they would like, the residents don't want necessarily a solar farm. I'm hearing this, but they also don't want necessarily housing. What I'm hearing is that the residents want the city to explore options to keep the land open and do not want another housing development there. So long story short, at this point, myself and the residents on Ward 4 can no longer support the solar farm. But again, I thank you so much for listening to everyone. If we ever did business with a solar farm, I think you guys would be the ones I would recommend. But thank you so much.
Okay. At this time, does anyone have any questions for the petitioner? Alderman Miller?
Boris, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for really listening to our community. And I can only echo Alderwoman Bassey in saying that along with the feedback that we've all received via our emails, I have received numerous conversations about this. And I just want to overarch it by saying no one's anti-solar. We're all looking for your resourcefulness. Unfortunately, this location was the problem for most of the conversation. So again, I want to, as we already have, thank you for your commitment to the community, your commitment to listen and respond. But as I am the maker of the motion to deny, it's not because I don't like you and don't like your concept. It's that I also have to reflect my constituents, and my constituents have said, not there. So thank you for your effort.
Any other council members have any questions, comments? Alderman Cook?
On a solar farm like this, how much does it cost to produce a kilowatt of electricity?
Yeah, thanks for that question. The benefit that solar at this scale offers is that it is the cheapest and quickest thing to get on the grid. So the reason that we're pursuing projects like this is that projects like this are part of the solution to keep our energy rates down, because we sell our electricity back to the grid at a rate that's lower than what it would cost to generate it elsewhere, transport it over transmission wires, step it through a substation, and get it to your home. So to answer your question, the cost that we can generate electricity here and sell it to the grid is lower than what is currently being sold and bought on the MISO transmission grid. Does that answer your question?
How much does it cost? I mean, is it 14 cents per kilowatt?
No, it's roughly around 8 to 9 cents a kilowatt hour.
Thank you.
Yeah, Illinois defines the price to compare as 9.8 cents, and the renewable energy savings is 1.6 cents off of that. So 7.2 cents, I guess, is a better mathematical answer.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments by council? Anyone from the public that would like to make a public comment regarding this item? All right, I see none. At this time, I'm going to, Trish, go ahead and call the roll.
Sure. Alderwoman Miller?
So before I vote, can Mr. McArdle just present what a yes vote represents?
That was my question.
So yes means we're denying.
Yeah.
No
And
means
this is
we're
a- this
not
is a
denying.
Motion to
This is a
deny
motion
the
to
petition
deny.
as
Correct.
presented.
Just wanted to clarify that for council. Thank you.
So
Thank
yes is a no to the petition.
Yes.
Okay. Alderman Cook?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey?
Yes.
Alderman Doherty?
Yes.
Alderman Glad?
Yes.
Alderwoman Bainey?
Yes.
Thank you, council. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. All right, any staff reports this evening? No? All right. No mayor's report this evening. Any city council comments? Alderman Benny?
I have a couple comments. First, I want to say how wonderful light the night was. It was a really nice evening because it's been brought up in a few times. No one fell in the river or the creek, so I think that was a win for McHenry. But it was a really great evening. And I love when those fireballs have actual fires in them. It's wonderful. Another thing I'd like to discuss is, once again, the Rise Up Foundation. For the past few years, this year and next year, council has voted to approve this event, waive the park fees, and waive the city fees for the use of the police and other staff. Just a few facts about this event. This is an event that gives back all of the funds to the city of McHenry. This event brings thousands of people in our community. They eat, they drink, they shop, they stay in our local hotels, they rent Airbnbs. It improves community relations. I know that my grandkids had a whole new view of the police officers after Rise Up because they danced and they sang and they really thought it was very cool. It provides opportunities for local businesses to promote themselves to people that are in and outside of our city. And don't fool yourself and think that it hasn't contributed to putting McHenry on the map, because where else can you find an event this size, run all by volunteers, that gives all the money back to the community in which we live in? Last year, we had 500 volunteers. This year, we had 900 volunteers. These individuals are giving their time because they know that this money goes back to their community where they live. I would hate to invite them all here to remind us of that fact. We all know that Alderwoman Bassey's vote and public statements asking Rise Up to pay back all the funds that were allocated to the event, that she opposes this council's decision, which is her right in the way that democracy functions. However, over the past few weeks and maybe longer, there have been a lot of what I consider inappropriate email requests asking staff for incredibly detailed information on police costs, etc., even trying to compare the Rise Up event here in McHenry to the for-profit Luke Bryan concert that our police were paid to assist with in another community. I can only assume that these requests are political in nature, an attempt to damage the reputation or limit the success of Mayor Wayne Jett, or maybe even to arm herself with information in another campaign for mayor. I think our staff always goes the extra mile to help our city council members when we ask questions, but I do not think it's fair to burden them with some ridiculous requests that interfere with their ability to do their day-to-day jobs of running the city. I think that this behavior is counterproductive to a well-functioning city administration and police force, and I'd like to ask that Alderwoman Bassey just stop, allow staff to do their respective jobs, and concede that the McHenry Music Festival is going to take place as has been voted on by a majority of this council. I hope that that is enough to curb the interference in the success of this community event, because I think maybe the next steps are we rent West Campus and invite everybody to come out and share their opinions, because we've had probably about 25,000 people that would like to come out and share how important this event is to the city. We can't even get 900 people to show up in one ward to vote, but they're all coming out to volunteer knowing this money's coming back to the city. So I'm just hoping that this topic can be put to rest and that staff isn't harassed and that it's not put out into the public anymore, and that we continue to work on the event together as a community and have another successful event with another large sum of money being donated to the city of McHenry for the wonderful things that we are doing in our parks and for our children and for our residents.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Alderman Glenn.
Yeah, I'll take offense to some of those comments. Number one, you shouldn't bring up politics here at the city council. Don't even mention it. Number two is the fact that as an elected official, I feel that any request that a alder person takes and makes should be granted, should not have to get a FOIA to get that information. I'm not saying they need it tomorrow or whatever's accommodating for staff. There's no reason why an elected official, if they have information they want, they can get. And in the computer age today, it shouldn't be that difficult to pull up a lot of those numbers. Should I say that it should be exactly specific to the dime? No, but I think a generality would be pretty much able to be given. Again, I don't see where a majority of the council has to request something. I think if an elected official is requesting information, they should be granted that. And that's just the way I feel. And if I know a lot of research is done by for every meeting by Alderwoman Bassey. Reads every and everything else that's in there. She doesn't miss a trick. So I don't see where they're, how would you put it, frivolous requests. I've seen the requests that have been on the emails. I don't think they're frivolous. I think if somebody's interested in the finances of that, that's fine. Doesn't necessarily mean that the council, after reviewing what they see on emails, all of a sudden change their minds or whatever. But I think if somebody wants that information and they want it shared to the rest of the council, I think it's legitimate. And I don't ever want to have to hear, because I'll bring it up publicly, the fact that staff refuses to get that information. If it's that overburdening, then maybe we need to talk about it in executive session if we can, or bring it out in a council meeting to discuss guidelines or something. But just to frivolously start bringing up mayoral elections or anything else, this isn't the place to discuss that type of stuff. Thank you.
All right, any other city council comments? Okay. I am looking for a motion to adjourn. Alderman Bainey,
I'll make that motion. I'll make that motion.
thank you. Second? Alderman Doherty,
I'll make a motion to second.
thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Bainey,
Yes.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderwoman Massey,
Yes.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderman Cook,
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.